like that. But what did you like about maybe the resilience you guys showed and the will you guys showed to not lose that
Uh, I don't know about the resilience, but just not losing the game. We had too many opportunities to put the game away, especially in the second half, that we just allowed them to come back and make shots, and defensively we weren't engaged for full possessions. We had some really good possessions where, we played 22 seconds of great defense and then foul at the end. So we just got to, be more disciplined to finish possessions off. But all in all, you happy to come away with a win.
But Brad, Ty was mentioning how Brad was kind of frustrated with himself, and he mentioned it as well, just being limited and missing shots. How are you guys kind of going about making sure that he's feeling involved while not, being too frustrated with himself?
It's my job to, to get those guys, give those guys confidence, and put them in positions to be successful. So I try to, Brad, T. Lue draw up an excellent play to start the half off. He get an easy layup, and then he hits another jumper, or we get a steal, and then I advance it to him. He gets a layup, and then he hits it, so right there. And then JC, playing with him more in that second unit tonight, finding ways to get him more involved, and even Brooks. So and you can't get everybody involved every single night just because we got so many guys, and depending on how the defense plays it. So we just take it for what it is, but just making sure those guys are engaged to any given night, they can have big games. So it's a long season. The numbers are going to be up and down. At the end of the year, they're going to make it make sense for our team. So, like I said, I'm just happy we got the win.
You had two back-to-back plays with John. You had the and one, and then you had the lob to John. How have you built chemistry with him and kind of making sure that you utilize?
We got a long way to go. Like I said, this is we've had some stints together, but kind of finding out, okay, I'm gonna be with the second unit a little bit more. Just finding ways that obviously he can post up. He's really good in the corner for three. So just finding ways to get him easy buckets. Also Brook too. Like everybody, making sure just like as a basketball player, if you get easy buckets, you're just confident. Especially somebody that isn't getting the bulk of the shots. Their confidence level goes out, so they feel harder on defense, and ultimately it's better for our team. So it's not going to happen for one game, and we got a long way to go. But just the communication, the consistent communication, and the confidence is something that I have to do for our team.
Ty mentioned that you guys have gotten up to poor starts on the defensive end in the beginning of games. How do you guys kind of turn that part of it around?
It's 5 games.
He mentioned it. I'm just
I
saying.
don't know what he mentioned. I'm just telling you it's 5 games. So we got to give us 20 games and see how it plays out. Maybe after 5 more games, you guys be like, you guys are starting off really good. What do you think? It's like it's just the beginning of the season. Give us some time.
You mentioned after Tuesday the make and miss part of this league, and so what were you most proud of offensively tonight after the game Tuesday where y'all struggled offensively?
I don't even know. I don't even know. We just gotta there's gonna be games where we're not scoring the ball, but defensively we got to be engaged. There's gonna be games where we're scoring the ball, we still got to be engaged defensively. So tonight was one of those nights where we scored the ball, but defensively we since we were scoring, we allowed them to get too many easy points, too many open shots. So we got to find that balance of, no matter if we're scoring the ball 120 points or whatever the case may be, defensively is our calling, and we have to do that every single night. So, like I said, I'm happy we won, but we got things to get better at.
Without a timeout on that last play, Ty was saying that he wanted to find it somehow to you or Kawhi.
Yep.
Obviously, it didn't get back to you. But what were you hoping to see on that play, and just what did you see?
I saw it. We all saw it. Kawhi Leonard, game winner. Simple. What play you want to draw up? Draw up a better play than that. I don't know. It's just space, and make or miss. We living with that shot. So happy he made it.
Thanks, James.
Thanks,
Thanks,
James.
Thank you, James.
You didn't see it?
I saw. I got a good shot.
Did it hit rim?
No.
Wet ball then.
All
She cho.
right, so you got a situation like that, no timeouts. Zion's at the line tying the game, and y'all got to figure out how y'all are going to get an opportunity to get that back. How did you guys figure that out?
That's one of the things we gotta get better at is I think we was up 10 in that fourth. We got to be able to hold those leads. Shouldn't come down to the last shot. My mistake by turning over the ball at the end, and we got to get better at that. And obviously trying to hone in on one of their best players in Zion, and then trying to make it, I guess, a little bit more difficult for him.
Ty mentioned the poor defensive starts that you guys have had to start games this season. How do you guys turn around on that end?
I guess just be ready, transition-wise, and coming in locked in on that end first, and then just focusing on that and get a rebound, and we able to get out.
I mentioned that Brad mentioned it too, but he was a little frustrated with the minutes restrictions and not playing the way he wants to. How are you guys just kind of going about keeping him, level-headed and spirits up?
It's always difficult when you're in those situations, especially, coming back from injury or dealing with, your very end of it, that last little 10%. But you just got to stay locked in. Like I told him today, just keep shooting the ball. It's only game 5, and we'll see how it looks in January. It's a marathon. It's not about, today. Let's see, how he's going to be looking in about 2 months or so.
You mentioned specifically not being able to play the fourth quarters, like knowing before the game that he's probably only going to be in for 3 quarters. You've had to deal with that too. Like that's been part of your ramp up at times where you couldn't play the fourth. You kind of just said it, but is that just more so been your message to him, like just understanding that he will at some point be a big part of what you guys are doing down the stretch of games?
Yeah. Like I said, he's going through the thick of it now, really. But I'm pretty sure he's blessed that he's able to step on that floor and play. So, you just got to look at that and, try to do whatever you can in those opportunities. And, it's a struggle or, to get through those times because, you might miss your first 4 or 5 shots and that's your minutes. But it's hard to get a rhythm. But you just got to go in and just play and have fun in a sense. And I think he's doing that. He's been doing great. He's not forcing anything. He's taking, being aggressive at his times and still making good passes.
Cool. For you, one thing I've always noticed is that on your game-winning situations, how you don't get rushed, but using the pump fake. For players that watch and learn from you, how important is it to not rush, but also use your pump fake when you do have it to get defenders up and being able to shoot over them too?
I've seen, I probably said this before, but 3-4 seconds is a lot of time. So probably seen that on the clock by the time DJ turned around. And like I said, it's a lot of time, so you got time to take a dribble, 2 dribbles, and either get to your spot or, like I did, use a pump fake, try to throw the defense off, and I'll just try to not be in a rush. And especially with a tie game, you just try to shoot your shot and not rush it.
Do you plan to play in both halves of the back-to-back coming up?
Both halves?
Both games in the back-to-back.
Yeah, yeah, I do plan on it.
Is that a discussion you've already had with medical staff at all?
There's no restrictions on me. You know what I mean? I feel good. We've been playing hard training camp days, 2 or 3 hours, and I think everybody's comfortable where I'm at today.
Does it feel, last question, the NBA Cup, does it feel any different to you with the court, the looks and everything?
Nah, not at all. It's great for the fans. I guess it gets them excited and, whatever. The NBA, thinks that we need to, make the end season before playoffs more riled up, is great. But for me, playoff game or, in-season tournament or any game, it's the same for me. It's still 5-on-5 basketball.
Thanks, Kawhi.
Appreciate you, Kawhi.
What are your thoughts on how you played tonight, and do you feel like you're getting it back?
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Slowly, yeah. It's tough with the minutes, but it's for my best interest and the best interest of the team. I can't just go from 0 to 100, and me as a basketball player wants to do that. But I feel good though. I'm moving really well. making plays. It's just a consistency thing. Just can keep building on positive days.
Ty said he's kind of felt that frustration coming from you and told you kind of take your time, whenever you're ready, we're here for you.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, man. I hate missing shots. I hate not playing well or as well as I want to play. And granted, it's only so much I can do, so I have to show myself a little grace too. And my teammates and the staff have been awesome with keeping that message in my head of, like, don't rush, don't overanalyze anything. Like, I'm in a good spot, and we're in a good spot as a team. So that's really the most important thing, and my rhythm will come.
Not that you wanted to get hurt, but the fact that you did it, putting your body on the line, taking a charge, how did your teammates kind of receive that? Like, what kind of feedback did they get for you?
Oh man,
making that play.
This is a great group we got in here. I think that's one we've talked about all summer, just how deep of a team we are. But just like I said, like our leadership and our camaraderie, how we encourage each other, like it speaks volumes, man. And sometimes it's gonna be me doing those little things and making those little plays for us, and putting your body on the line to make those type of plays. And sometimes that's what happens, But I'm gonna do that 10 out of 10 times every single time, and it's good to know that we have a group that supports that and everybody's willing to do the same.
How does that camaraderie change when you get a buzzer beater at the end of a backcourt game like that?
It's unreal. Obviously overly excited. We wish it never came down to that, but we were on the positive side of it, so you're always beyond ecstatic about it, and the win is a win. It was an unbelievable shot by Watt, too. So buzzer beaters is probably one of the most fun things about our sport. It was a hell of a shot for sure tonight.
Ty said it's going to take 10, 15 games for you guys to figure it out. To your point, a win's a win. You guys didn't want it to come down to that, but how nice is it that you guys can win a game where I'm sure there's a lot of things that you guys feel you could do better, and also too just still growing as a group?
It's super important, man. Like Ty said, like we're still building. Like, it's still early. We can't, even me, I can't overanalyze. I played two, 3 games. Like it's still a long year. We still have a lot more things we need to improve on both ends, and T. Lue's still figuring out lineups and things like that. So it's everything is still a work in progress. We're still figuring it out, but we like our continuity. We like our flow, and we like the character guys we have. And I think that's just making our transition a lot easier for us. And when you have vets like this, it's easy to just do things on the fly and not have to teach a lot. So it's been working well for us, but we still got a lot of things we got to hop on and get better at, but so far so good. Yeah.
As far as your limitations kind of go, are there benchmarks you need to hit, or certain things you're looking to hit as goals, or how are you kind of going about the limitations and ramping up?
That's all on the medical staff. There's certain stuff that I have to do, whether it's strength-wise, weight room-wise, or conditioning-wise. It's a few boxes I have to check before I'm cleared to do anything else.
I know you mentioned it could be hard to get it going with the minutes restriction, but are there certain things you've been happy with in the minutes that you've been out there where you're like, oh, that feels good, I'm happy with that movement?
Yeah, I'm always going to maximize them, I'd rather be out there than not be out there, so whatever minutes I can get and I can contribute. Like, when they told me I'm probably only going to play the first 3 quarters, it's like, dang. But, if that's what I get, that's what I get. I go out there and play them hard and compete. And we have enough guys that I know we can close the game. I think that gives me peace, too, of knowing, again, just how deep of a team we are, how much versatility we have. And it continues to push me to just continue to take care of my body, get back right, take my time, and just trust the process.
Ty mentioned that you guys have been getting off to poor starts defensively, like the first 7 minutes of games. How do you guys turn that around?
Did not do that. But it's up to the starting group. Like, we got to come out with a lot more energy and focus. Obviously, we're super talented. We can score the ball with the best of them, so we can't just rely on that every night. We're gonna make sure we're harping in on the defensive end and doing it from the start of the game versus kind of climbing our way back in. Because sometimes really, really good teams won't let you claw back in. So it's good that we kind of know those little nuance, little nitpick things that we got to fix and that kind of hinder us a little bit, but I think we've done a good job of kind of making in-game adjustments and not allowing them to be overly dramatic, but they're still dramatic enough to where we still have to address them for sure.
Thank you, Brad.
Appreciate it, Brad.
Ty, first off, kind of just your thoughts on how the game kind of came down the stretch, and them tying it, and then obviously Kawhi at the end.
Yeah, just some breakdowns defensively. I thought Stack hurt us all night. Not be able to get back out to that shooter that was slipping out. They got a lot of threes off of that, and then we're aggressive defensively. So when guys are driving, we want to try to get in, create steals, and they took advantage of that as well. And then offensively, just taking care of the basketball. Not turn the ball over so they can get out in transition and get easy baskets, especially down the stretch. And so we didn't do a good job with that.
Usually you have James play the entire first quarter, and then Kawhi starts the second with the bench. You kind of reverse course tonight. Like, what was your thinking behind that, and kind of how did you assess how that all went?
I thought it went well. Just switching those two, and just I think if teams are going to switch 1 through 5, and James, as far as ISO and be able to attack and make plays for other people, if they're going to switch, we thought would be better for us, which it was. And so, just got to go back and just look at the breakdowns. When we got up 17, to just how we didn't execute offensively, and then defensively we didn't execute as well.
Coach, what would you kind of take from this game? As well as y'all won the game, but what would you take as far as what y'all need to work on going to the next game?
Just running through the tape, just finishing the game the right way. You're going to miss or make shots, but I think, defensively, we got to make sure that we understand what we're doing. When JVG is giving the coverages, understanding what we're supposed to do and execute the game plan. And tonight, defensively, so I don't think we did a good job with that, especially in the fourth quarter.
So you don't have timeouts for that last possession when Zion's at the free throw line tying it. How do you communicate to your team, like, what would you want to do, or do you just have the players on the floor kind of figure it out?
No, knew if they scored, we had to get it in quick and try to attack with 9 seconds. But we didn't want James taking the ball out. We wanted him or Kawhi being the one receiving it. But he took it out, and I thought DJ did a great job of just pushing the ball up the court, and he could have attacked, but got it to Kawhi. Kawhi made a huge shot.
Ty, we saw right here in the back. John played a pretty big role for you guys. John Collins off the bench today. Just what's the kind of mixing and matching and trying to figure out who works best with who and how the game flow is kind of going? What's that just process been like through what, 5 games now?
Yeah, like I said, JC, just his energy has been great, and so like I said, while he's trying to learn offensively what we're trying to do and defensively as well, but just his energy every night I think is really good. And then trying to, had to call 2 timeouts in the first quarter just so we can try to get our rotations right, but trying to get CP in there a little earlier so we can play with Zoo, so teams won't switch 1 through 5 with him and Brooks pick and rolls to try to change it up. And I thought it went well. I just got to, look at the game and see where it went wrong. But, overall I thought just those, with James playing with Brook and CP playing with Zoo, I thought was a pretty decent combination.
And Brad, 21 minutes tonight. I think he had that 5-point stretch with a transition layup and a 3-pointer. Just what did you see out of him, and how did he kind of come out of that game?
He came out feeling good, and just, like I said, just getting back into rhythm, getting his conditioning up. And then, like I said, we're going to wait on you. Like, you don't have to, try to make it all up in one day. And, he's frustrated with himself, but, it's going to be okay, So, but I thought he did a good job. I thought his movements was pretty good, but I just thought, like I said, he was pretty tired that first stretch when he was in the game in that first quarter.
Coach, I know you approach these NBA Cup games just like any other, just trying to get a dub, but what do you think the value of the in-season tournament is for you all in terms of breaking up the monotony of an 82-game season?
Yeah, I think just like you said, midway through the season or early in the season, just having something to play for. When you're playing for a championship, no matter at what level, it's always good to compete for that.
Coach, right here. Coach, can you talk about Derrick Jones Jr. Presence on the glass and necessarily his energy throughout the game? Because every time the team kind of got a little stale, you see Derrick Jones flying in the air.
Yeah, he made some huge plays for us. I thought, out of timeout, James threw, the pass. He got the dunk, and then Zoo on the blitz, making a crazy pass. But DJ was able to go up and catch it and dunk it with the right hand. But just being in the right place at the right time, making the hustle plays, getting behind the defense. He's one of the most athletic guys in the league. And so he did make some huge baskets, especially when it was, going on the run.
Ty, defense has been an issue for you guys. You mentioned the breakdowns early in the season. I guess simple question is why?
I gotta look at it, Justin. Just you know, the first quarter, like the first 7 minutes of every game, in the first quarter, we're like 155 defensive rating, and then from that point on, we're like second in the league. You know, and so just getting off to better starts, I think, to start the game defensively. You know, not easing our way into it. I think we got to be better with that, and just attacking the game with a defensive mindset. So we got to figure out a way to fix that and correct that.